better than Shock. I disagree. I'll take the Obelisk here. If we are in white-black drain, we'll take Cruel Celebrant. I don't think this card does anything, so we'll grab this. So we're speculating here for blue, speculating there for green, and there for white. We don't know what colors we are. We're probably not playing Obelisk, but we might. Okay. Shock seems stronger than the 6-mana sorcery. This is draw 4, and it has cycling. So if we're blue with Thasso, we're probably a Dirtle deck, right? So this is pretty strong in a Dirtle deck. Shock would be if we're playing like when you pick Shock there is it's a comparison between the Mayhem Devil and Shock, right? So if we're thinking we're black-red, would I rather a Mayhem Devil or Shock? At the moment, I have one sack effect and no real way to take advantage of it. I'd just rather have the Shock. It's 1 mana instant speed removal that deals with quite a lot in this format, as opposed to the Mayhem Devil, which requires I set up sack synergies to make it work and don't necessarily have any of those yet. I just don't think Mayhem Devil is very good in this format at all. We do have the Welsh Rider. Can you imagine sacking anything beside in this deck right now, outside of blocking? Can you imagine sacking anything for fucking for Mayhem Devil triggers? Like, it's just not good enough, man. All right, so we haven't seen a lot of green. I mean, we've just seen a lot of black is what this is. You think we're sacking Dreadhorde Invasion tokens? I don't think we're sacking Dreadhorde Invasion tokens very often. I mean, we will sometimes because we're forced to, but we don't want to be. So this is more of the... all right, so what is this? We got Lyra, Rankle, Valky in black. We've got Monument for token generation. We've got an Elspeth if we play white. We've got an Octopus if we play blue. Hydra's garbage. I'm nowhere near white. Lyra's not very exciting. We don't have any payoff cards for life gain yet. This is either Valky or Rankle. I like Valky. Valky gives you a shit ton of information, is pretty flexible. I've never played the other part of it. I kind of forget it's there, quite honestly, because I only ever play this as a 2-drop. What does it do? Exile creature. It's a 5 loyalty. I mean, it's pretty strong, actually. I like Rankle. I think it's really flexible. But I think I'd rather 2-drop Valky here than anything else, I think. There's a lot of cards in that pack I want, but it is pack 2, pick 1, right? So, all right. White cards we don't want. Blue card we don't want. Chandra is the strongest card in this pack. There's a nod towards Tendershoot Dryad, who's okay too. I don't like Saw It Coming particularly. There's a mana dork on 2, or 3 rather, and there's duels. There's a blue-black duel and another blue-black duel. So basically it's dual land or Mirm or try to speculate red. We're no way near red. I think we take a duel here. So maybe this card is okay. It just doesn't block. All right, I'm gonna take the pathway. All right. Basri in white, more Chandra, Exquisite Blood, Nightmare Shepherd is a 4/4 flyer in black. What's this guy? This is the Lantern. I thought that card was really strong. Green cards we don't care about. A little bit of red removal. The blue cards are weak. So it's really between Shepherd and Turgid, and I think Turgid is really good. Or rather, the Lantern part of Turgid is really good. I don't even know what the other part does. I need to read the card again. But Lantern's been pretty solid. Synergizes with the Drain format, the Drain synergy off of the Bastion. I was kind of looking to be white, black lifelink here, but I need to see a payoff card for that, like that Witch come around or something, like the Witch of the Moors. So there is a pretty solid... Vito's kind of a bomb. He's kind of like a hidden bomb, honestly. My favorite card in this pack is probably the Bone Crusher Giant. There's the Phyrexian Arena. I haven't actually seen this do a lot for me, and I'm a little dubious of running Dreadhorde Invasion and Arena. I think I might be on Vito. This card just sometimes wins, right? And then maybe we wheel Arena. I mean, this seems like a huge upside, but it's really bad versus aggro, and I don't really want to be double drained. Like, I don't mind Dreadhorde, but we need some serious life gain before I'm going to run a second drain effect. Contempt is very expensive, but it hits pretty much everything. Disfigure is dirt cheap and hits a lot of targets, and Inscription is excellent. It hits some targets. CMC 3 or less is okay. We got a lot of 3 drops. It has a big upside with the kicker, although the kicker's insanely expensive. There's a blue-green duel, sure. Visionary's here too in green. Visionary's really good. I think I take Disfigure here. There's a lot of good cards in this pack. I'd be okay seeing the Contempt wheel. I'd like to see Inscription wheel. I'd play Visionary if we were green and a Heartbeat. This card is really good. I don't think Contempt is better than Disfigure. I think the 1 mana stuff is really good here. So red-black duel. So Rebirth, which is a land. It's not super exciting. It's okay. So green seems really open this direction. What is this? Black, red, white. Is this card, any of these cards good enough to pick up? Maybe Once Upon a Time compared to this. There's a Null Priest and a Poison the Cup, both excellent. This is a life linker, which I really like. I like this card a lot, but I don't think I take it over Poison the Cup. Poison the Cup, Scry 2, fucking instant speed removal that kills pretty much anything is really good. There's another Sack Synergy card there. Red looks pretty open. Magda's a bomb, dude. Like a bomb, but we don't have any other red cards, so it's pretty far away. This is black, green, white duel. That's actually pretty nice for us too. I think I take Poison and hope to wheel either Null Priest or the Triome, but we probably don't get either, honestly. All right, Bedevil in black-red. We've got a black-green splash there, an Uprising. Grasp of Darkness is really nice too. Is there a world in which we play mono black in this deck? Oh, we don't get to wheel that again? Was that pick? It was pick 7? I don't think we get either. I don't. If it's mono black, I want the Castle, but maybe I want Grasp over Castle. This card's good too. We have cards to sacrifice. We maybe have some Rebirth effects, and the black-green duel is really nice. But I'm gonna take my cheap removal first. Yeah, black is pretty clearly open. I think green is too, though. So that's if we play Dirtle Blue. We seem pretty far away from that, honestly. We only have the 1 blue card in Thassa. And if we aren't playing blue, we're never playing Benalish Marshal in any of these decks. So I think this is bag, but we don't really want to play it. Red-green duel. Mana Dork Wield. Okay. Life gain there, but don't have a lot of white. No real synergies with life gain yet either. Triple green, 5 mana, do nothing. Basri. And white. The fuck do I do with that? Probably never play this card though. Arena Wield. Blossoming Defense is quite nice too. I don't know if I'm playing green yet though. Blood is instant win with veto. So we wield the Inscriptions, they're kind of nice. All right, what's pack 3? So we don't know what color. Cruel Reality is pretty far away. Crippling Sphere is a sweeper. Doom Necromancer's Rebirth effects. There's a Mana Dork in green and an Archfiend's Vessel for payoffs there. We kind of need early game. We don't have a lot of 2-drops right now. Are we going to invest in Elves here? I feel like it's okay. I mean, we have the green payoff cards late game. We have enough green cards we can play it. This could just be Elf. Like, Vessel's alright, but we don't have any recursion yet. And I don't hate Necromancer either. I don't mind speculating Elf. Yeah, the Serpent's okay. Surveyor's good too. Let's grab the Elf and see if we can get there in green. Games is good. Loris is excellent. Dreadwander is fine. Get a lot of 3-drops. So this is permanence. Permanent. So Elf. The backside's thrown, so we can't bring that back. Can we bring back anything with this? Do we have any? We just get Valky right now? That may not actually be very good for us. Is there a better card here? The discard card? Or the... I don't need another 3-drop, and I'm not sure I'm playing green yet. So I think I'm on Loris. It's gonna... Or Loris. It's gonna dry removal. Nightmare here. Blue-black duel. Savage Stomp. White and red cards we're not playing. An Evolving Wild... it's not an Evolving Wilds. It's a Crawling Barrens. Never mind. Did I play Nightmare? It's okay. Too bad there's no green-black duel here. I think I might take Stomp over Nightmare. honestly. All right, Vraska in our colors, if we're playing that. The Demolisher is actually really good too. This is really solid mono black. So is this. That's fixing. Dude, this pack is nuts. I'd take this pack and be done. There's Rebirth on 1-2. There's Vraska here. This card is really solid. Hits a lot of kill cards for playing green. I like this card a lot though. It's been really powerful versus me. Like, it just, like, if you're going first and you can mutate this out on 4 on any body, you just win. You basically, like, fuck their ability to respond at all. I think I'll take Vraska. Seems good. 2 land cards here. 2 mana ramp. I like 2 mana ramp. I need more things on 2. And there's a Woodland Cemetery there. I'd like to wheel that Woodland Cemetery. I don't see this card wheeling, so I'm going to take this, the Cold Steel Heart. So this card's all right. There's an Icy in there. We don't have a lot of 4 drops. We could actually use some reach. I don't believe the Icy's in there. It seems weird. Feels like that goes in so many decks. It's a little slow in this format, but it's still really good. We don't have a lot of 4 drops. Foulmire Knight, Fatal Push, the Grave Breaker, and a Tome. Tome's another 2-drop. Let's just do a little bit of scrying. Fatal Push is generally okay. We do have the tokens that sometimes get removed here. Knight with Loris. It's true. I don't hate it. I don't hate that card either, though. Traxos we're pretty far away from. There's a Cauldron here. Too bad there's so much white. White, green, blue, green. Feels bad. I don't think we're close to Traxos here. It's tough to get a sense. I think this is Cauldron. Need a little bit more time on this to actually get a sense. What's our count? 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure. I'll count in a minute. All right, Doom Necro wheeled, as did Vessel. There's a last pick Berserker here and the fucking Serpent wheeled. So all the good cards in the pack for us wheeled. This card can be recurred from graveyard, and with Loris, that's a 5/5, right? It's also a body. It's okay. I kind of wanted the Necro. I own Games wheeled, Dread Wanderer wheeled. This stupid Elf Lord wheeled. Games is highest power level. Wanderer's recursion, but pretty fucking bad. I'm not super aggro at this deck. This is a 2-drop. Black blue doesn't get us anywhere. All the bad cards wheeled. Okay. I think we take the Gray Merchant over the Call. I'm not sure if we're playing green or not yet. It's a black-green dual wield. Nice. Tybalt and Confirm the Weak, or whatever the fuck it is. Okay. You guys call Gray Merchant Gary? Okay. And what is he a Gray Merchant? What does Gray Merchant mean? Like, what is this card actually? Like, what is a Gray Merchant? I've never heard of that in my life. How do I see the flavor text on this? I thought I right-clicked. Flavor text? No flavor text. Like, is this about gray water? Does he work with gray water? We'll find out. All right, so we're not playing blue. We're never playing red here either. We have some green cards we could play. We don't have to, though. We're not playing white. We're not playing Bag of Holding. He's something that wins me games. Really? You think we have an aggressive beatdown deck where we need a little bit of reach? Because I think a lot of times he doesn't do anything. Okay. Definition Gray Merchant. I'm clicking it. Let's see what it says. An itinerant merchant, specifically one who buys up goods before they reach the public market. That doesn't tell me anything. What the fuck is an itinerant merchant who buys up goods? What merchants don't buy up goods exactly? Like, if you're going to define a merchant by a guy who buys up goods, are we actually getting anywhere? All right, that card seems like an absolute scam to me. 5 mana enchantment does nothing. This is a 1-drop. That's a 4-drop. What am I saying? Okay. This is not a Wilderness Reclamation deck. We have some graveyard recursion. We could tutor up Loris pretty quickly here. All right, so what are we wanting to play? I don't know if I needed Fatal Push as well. So this card, okay. Let's see, what is it? Okay, so are we strong enough without green? No. Got all the threes. So this is basically the deck. We have one more cut to make if we're not playing green. What does this deck do? Cheap removals, not very aggressive. We don't have a lot of 1 and 2 drops that do any beatdowns. We ended up with some shitty fucking like 0 synergy cards, right? Like we didn't get a lot of things that trigger off that. We've got these really slow god kind of effects and a cauldron and whatever that one is there. Like this is kind of painful with just black, it feels like to me. I don't think we hit the synergies we wanted to hit with this. We have all sorts of situational removal. We've got low hit point situational removal, losing card situational removal, opponent has cards in hand situational removal, low converted mana cost situational removal. Thanks, implied quotient. Jesus Christ, chat. This deck is ugly again. I wonder if I'm just bad at drafting in this format. I like Bastion a lot. I'm not sure I'm actually cutting it. I'm just trying to get a sense of like what cards I play here. I'm not even sure I play that card. That card I think always gets played. I think this... We have a lot of removal. Like that Fatal Push over the 1-drop or whatever the other recursion thing was there might have been wrong because I kind of hadn't realized quite how many removal spells we had. That is a lot of situational removal. We're always playing Vraska here. Or Valky rather, not Vraska. Oh, you mean the other Vraska. So, I mean... Let's look at the deck I want to play. Okay, I want to play that deck. All right, I think we're doing green for power level here. Did we really only pull one fixer? Yeah. One duel. So we're going to have to play a fuck ton of green mana if we're going to play Land of War Elves. 5 mana enchantment plus veto wins on the spot. Do you realize how dumb that sounds? Can you imagine a situation where my 5 mana enchantment plus veto plus activation on a board where I have creatures to do it and I wasn't already winning? Like you can make up situations where you win with the exquisite blood, sure. I believe you. But there's a fuck ton more situations where that doesn't do anything. I don't have to activate veto. Well, then we're not gaining life. And if we're not gaining life, exquisite blood isn't triggering. Oh, it's not on gain. It's on opponent losing life. Huh. Oh, I see. I see. That's a little better than I thought it was. I thought this was on my life gain. I thought it basically read the other way around. I thought it was a second veto effect. All right, let's add cards to this deck. So I'll play Inscription. It's really flexible. It's really nice. I'll play Mythos. It's just really solid removal. We have too many 3-drops. We need to get our curve down. Thoughtseize is always in this deck. Fatal Push, Disfigure is always in this deck. Grasp of Darkness is always in this deck. I think I want to get green in here. It's too bad we only have the one graveyard interaction with the Doom Necro. All right, do we play Lantern? So what is the 4/5 side of this card do? It's a god. When an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Doesn't sound very good. So this is a 4-mana target player sacks shit or takes damage that sometimes win games. This card has been excellent against us though. Like that Lantern's scary as shit. So maybe we just play that as the Lantern. I mean, we can actually play Wilderness Reclamation with the amount of instant speed shit we have. Is there enough mana sinks for that? All right, what's this guy do? Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, draw a card. Really good if we have graveyard recursion. We just have the one piece though. It's card advantage as well, although it's only 1 per turn. Otherwise, it's a 3-mana 6/6 Death Toucher who eats cards out of my graveyard. Yeah, that's cheap too. It's not a very good 6/6 Death Toucher, doesn't do a lot. It's a different situation for the Exquisite Blood. The problem with the Exquisite Blood is oftentimes a 5-mana do nothing. If I play this and my opponent has board on me or I'm being pressured, this does nothing. If I play this and my opponent is happy to trade with me and race me, even if my creatures do a little bit more damage, it does nothing. It doesn't remove a card. It doesn't do anything on entering the battlefield. It doesn't have synergy with anything we're doing except hitting them in the face. It's just so greedy, man. It's such a greedy card. It's a win more card. I think that mana base is going to be super bad for green. Should have been counting my removal, I guess. Nine cards in. I think this core always gets played. The green, so if we play green, it's 1, 2, 3. This is essentially a finisher. You don't even have to play that. It's quite not good for this deck. The Gargaroth is super good, but it's like the only good green card we picked up. Oh, Vraska. So we get those 3 in. Can't play Llanowar Elves without a really solid green mana base. But I can't play Gargaroth without also a pretty decent mana base. Like turn 5 double green is hard for this deck. We don't have shit for fixing. Now we could do Cold Steel Heart helps a little bit. It's acceleration and fixing, which is nice. Can't play for sure. I can play for sure. The problem is, I mean, I could. You know, like in a 2-color deck, we can spend some resources to putting green lands in. It will make our ability to double spell on black a little bit more painful, and we have a lot of cheap black removal, which makes that a little bit less pleasant of an idea, but we can do it. Hey, Sui. Maybe this is a God Pharaoh's deck, chat. We don't have other recursion out of our graveyard. We have a couple ways we can accelerate. And we have cards that we can play that put cards into our graveyard, right? If we play the other god that mills us every turn. It's a pretty nutso effect. Only on creatures. We have a fair number. Is it a May? It is a May. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is like without enough green cards, like this is removal, but we've got plenty of removal. The Shaman is fine. It's a tutoring Shaman, which is great for us on a 2-drop, but I mean, so I could put this in as stuff. We have ramp, Victor. You can't say we don't have ramp. We've got the heart. If we play elves, we can play that. We can play the mirror, which is ramp. Might be one other effect in here too. Just trying to figure out where it is. Oh, the obelisk if we want to play it. So I mean that's 3 to 4 ramp cards. Mirror is a bit of a meme. It's been under... I mean, it performs nicely in decks that have a lot of dirtle. Which might not be this deck. Miirm is probably gonna get bolted is not a way to deal with accelerators. That's like saying you don't play elves because they can be killed by every removal spell. Do you know why they're killed by every removal spell? Because the effect is so powerful. To rule them out of going into a deck because the opponent is incentivized to remove them isn't a justification for that. You play elves because they're cheap and you have a lot of them? No, you don't. You play elves because it ramps your deck, and going sooner on your spells is super powerful. Like getting powerful, like big mana spells into the battlefield sooner is a powerful effect. That's why you play elves. You don't play elves because there's a lot of them. It's not a justification for playing elves. Blue over green, we have 2 blue cards. Like, what do we get from blue? We have better fixing for blue. Yeah, I think there's 3 decks here. We could do mono black, it's a little weaker than we want. We could do green black, the mana's a little bit worse than we want. Or we could try some sort of like God Pharaoh's rampy kind of deck. Possibly still running the green cards. So God Pharaoh's makes all your creatures in your graveyard 4/4 hasted creatures, right? Do they also get exiled at end of turn? I can't remember. Let's read this fucking card. Beginning of your turn, you may exile a creature card from graveyard. Do get a 4/4 token. That's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste, so it doesn't even exile. So you just generate 4/4s that are hasted every single turn that do what you do in addition. So what ETBs do we have? Like, how good is that for us? Valky coming back and ETBing is quite good. Veto coming back as a 4/4 is great. Woe Strider, we don't really want to recur because we can eat cards in our graveyard already. Loris coming back as a 4/4 is great. We don't actually have that many creatures right here. Turgid coming back as a 4/4 is pretty bad. How am I getting things back if I exile them with gift? The card does that. That's what it does, Pokedo. It exiles a card from your graveyard and brings that card back as a token. That's how I'm getting it back. We have other creatures to add. Recurring the 2/4 is pretty solid. Yeah, there's a lot of text on that card. I mean, Elves is a 4/4. Gargareth is a 4/4. Shaman is a 4. I mean, the 4/4s are okay. I think I have to get green in this deck, chat. I can't see this deck being strong enough without green, right? Like, we picked some cards with the Drain theme going on, but didn't really get there on Drain. So I think we load up on... I think this is also a God's Pharaoh deck at the end of this, by the way, chat. So I think we end up with this, Mana Dorks are twice as valuable with the God Pharaoh thing, right? Because essentially the Mana Dorks become 4/4 beaters later. So we'll think about the green in a second. All right, so what are our accelerations? We could colorless acceleration twice. Okay, what is this? 35 of 40. 5 more here. There's an unplayed Fatal Push and Eliminate up there, both of which are decent. Zombie Dude's good. Do we play this? Probably. It's that Egon. This is a gray merchant deck if we're playing Pharaoh. Maybe this isn't green. Maybe it's just mono black with God Pharaohs. So I could go... Do we need 18 in this deck? I don't think we need 18 in this deck either. Or 17 rather, I mean. I think we could go 16 here. So cut the Woodland Cemetery, cut 1 Swamp. We're playing this as an accelerant. Could play 2 accelerants with the Unstable. I mean, I could splash off I could splash off the Woodland Cemetery, a Cold Heal. I mean, I could play like Vraska, this, and that, and get the 1 mana green guy in. That could work. Could run 1 Forest if we really want to try to play Vraska. I mean, it's a powerful card. It doesn't do anything with God Pharaohs. Helps us with flood, does a little bit of removal. It's helpful if we're not playing double green cards, then we can play the single green card a little bit more easily. And then this is what, you guys like Fatal Push or Eliminate more? Eliminate. What's our creature count right now? Oops. 10. That's so low for God Pharaoh's Gift. We don't want 10 creatures in a God Pharaoh's Gift deck. Fuck. Do we have other creatures that come out of this? Ten is so low for this, chat. I'm like looking for any black creatures, but we've got them all in. Like Arena over Doom Necro. I'm not cutting another creature here. Yeah, I don't know if I can make the green mana base work, Sui. Like, I'm playing a Llanowar Elf in a deck that's 97% black. It's so painful. Like, that right now is kind of what I'm looking at. No, we're not ever dropping. We're not, I mean, I can throw, okay, so we're not dropping the Harvester. You're mostly right that crewing, if you have a deck with no creatures, then crewing is worse. But we have both Dreadhorde Invasion, and if we choose to play the other non-creature creature generator, which is the Bastion, it's like dirt cheap to crew this. Any creature at all crews this. It's just like, it's so cheap to crew the Harvester. It's like, there's no way we're not playing that card. So I think the decision here is actually whether or not we play green. This is obviously, there's no way this is more than a 16 land deck. If you're arguing for 15, maybe I could see it. But I do actually want to cast God's Pharaohs. Underrating Bag of Holding. It's a good card in this deck. Well, except that we want to build Graveyard for God Pharaoh's Gift, right? Like, we have Loris, who wants cards in the graveyard. We have Egon, who wants cards in the graveyard. We've got God's Pharaohs, which wants cards in the graveyard. Do we really want to put cards not in our graveyard? Doom Necro wants cards in our graveyard. Inscription of Ruin wants cards in our graveyard. Woe Strider wants cards in our graveyard. I don't think this is a deck where we want bag. How would it prevent us? We don't have any other discards? Because every time you use bag, it doesn't put that card in your graveyard. It puts it under the bag. Think we get down to 15 on this, Sui? So the other thing so total number of sources is important, but if you're using ramp cards like Cold Steel Heart and Obelisk and Mirror for mana, you have to get to the mana cost to cast them. I worry about consistency going down too low in lands that hit 3-drops. It doesn't mean there are less cards in our graveyard, the same amounts as if we didn't have. Sure, you're correct. I'm just saying that every card that goes under Bag of Holding, which is essentially eventually a value engine, right? It's card selection, and then late game supposed to be value by giving you those cards back. It feels very anti-synergetic for this deck. Because all the cards under it can't be used for graveyard stuff, right? So when I I guess if I card select lands under it, I don't know. It doesn't seem like what I want to be doing. We're going to have mana, though, with Cold Steel Heart. I mean, maybe. I don't think I can get the green in here. Like, I don't want to play Llanowar Elves on like 6 lands. And I don't want to play Elder Gargareth. And I don't want to play Elder Gargaroth if I can't play it on 5. This card is insane because it's such an undercosted, like, big dude who does shit. Kind of would like to play these 3 cards. Anyway, we could cut. I think, can we win without God Pharaohs though, Sui? I have such a hard time seeing how we get there in this deck. We've got like nothing that's terrifying. No big flyers, almost no flyers at all. A lot of spot removal, but a bunch of weak creatures. Like not even good power on these creatures, right? Like 1 power beaters, 2 power, like one power beater, 1 2 power beater, a bunch of 2/2s on 3 mana, a 1/3 on 3 mana. Like how the fuck do I kill them? Maybe certainly we can drain them out with Tergrid's Lantern. Hard build, man. Hard build. So what would we cut? Cut Obelisk God Pharaoh. I don't love Obelisk, for sure. God Pharaoh seems good with this deck because it gives all of our creatures twice, but we don't have that many, which is a bit of an issue. Because we don't have a lot of recursion, otherwise we just have the Doom Necro. Is it stronger to cut Unstable and God's Pharaoh and bring in Bastion and Fatal Push? There's a little tiny bit of drain on Bastion. It doesn't feel like a Bastion deck. We don't have token generation. We just have the Dreadhorde Invasion is basically it. I just like that I like that it's another body to crew our Harvester. It's about the only synergy that matters there. It's a little bit of life gain. I think I tried this. Is there a better deck to be had here? I hate that we're not playing the Gargaroth. Maybe the Bag of Holding is worth it. It doesn't seem worth it to me, although maybe card selection is worth it. It's so anti-synergetic with their stuff, but I do feel like if we're playing this version of this deck, how we win is fucking hitting God Pharaoh. So some portion of me is kind of like, well, we want to have card selection here. What card do I cut if I bring in Bag? Arena's better than Bag. Well, think about it though, right? We're trying to get a little bit of acceleration so we can play God Pharaoh's Gift. So we're playing the Mirm, the Obelisk, and the Heart. Heart's also fixing as well as acceleration. If we're playing these accelerants, we kind of would like to have something to do with our mana. Bag of Holding gives us something to do with their mana. There is that portion of it. Tergrid also has something to do with their mana. I don't know. We have a couple things that benefit from accelerants, right? Inscription, Veto, Recursion off Loris, sacking the Obelisk for a kill, tapping with Icy. Hard build, man. This is probably the hardest build we've done in a while. Yesterday's 5-color pile was a tricky build too. Fauna Shaman over Bag? No, it's green, man. Think we have enough sinks without the Bag? What would be the card that would come out? Let's think about that. All right. All right. Hold up mana for removal. That's a really good point too. We have a fuck ton of instant speed removal, right? Like 4 or 5 pieces. I kind of want Bag in here. I'm kind of coming around on it fully. I hate the nombos with all the graveyard stuff we care about, but I do like having mana sinks when we are potentially going to be flooding in a deck like this. Like what happens if we don't have God Pharaoh's Gift and we go to like 5 mana? Like we're just hoping to double spell? Like that doesn't seem good. What comes out for Bag? Obelisk? Like that? This is clearly a mono green bag. This is the deck. Can we go 18 wins with this, chat? Let me know about 5. Okay. Don't play bag and not play arena. It's a different card, man. There's a different set of things going here. Yes, this gives card advantage at a better pace with less mana investment than bag, for sure. But this does something different. This is card selection for holding up open mana, and it doesn't cost me life per turn. It's a different thing. I don't know that. I don't know that directly comparing the card advantage off bag actually takes a look at the pros and cons of these two cards. Right? And maybe we find we have enough life gain later. Maybe. We don't have a lot. It's just Veto, Harvester, and maybe Dreadhorde Invasion if it ticks. Okay. We have Dreadhorde too. I'm not very big on double drains. You guys are really big on... Okay, chat, look at this curve. Okay, so you guys want to put another 3-drop into this deck. And that's going to be a second drain effect with weak life linking. Yeah, it's 2 cards a turn. Don't get me wrong. That's nice. But I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like where we want to be in this deck. I mean, it will accelerate us out. I mean, the other thing about having a consistent source of draw like this is you will hit your land drops pretty consistently. So it is in itself a ramp. If you want, I'll try cutting Mirror for this. And play bag and this. I don't think I cut bag for this, though. I think they do different things. We can go down to like 8 creatures with our God Pharaoh's Tomb. We're at 10 right now. We just cut God Pharaoh's Tomb for fucking arena if you think we can win. I don't know how the fuck we win with that. It'll kill you as much as it saves you. Generally, paying 1 life to draw a card is really good. It's just I'm not sure it's really good in here. Alright. Alright, let's try this. Let's see how bad it is. It could be really bad. I'll reevaluate after playing a game or 2 with bag and God Pharaoh's Tomb, or whatever it's called. I'll reevaluate whether or not we want to try to get the arena in. Is white in there? It's just the Mythos, right? Seems like a good first hand for us. I think I underestimate Arena. I've played Arena. I don't underestimate it. It's a card draw for life. There's a lot of upsides to that and some downsides. That's a scary card for him to play out right now. I could look at his hand, but I can't interact if I do that. I don't want to take a turn off because I want to next turn. I want to play my 2-drop and next turn disfigure plus another 2-drop. I think I have Valky here. Get a look at his hand. Rip. Okay. It's not a huge hit. He immediately kills it next turn, Sui. And he gets 2 counters and gets a 4/4. So it's super bad for us, but oh well. Hand got bad all of a sudden, really quick too. Because we didn't disfigure that and he had token generation, now disfigure's dead. We don't want this coming out with the giant because we don't want him getting additional tokens. Actually, it doesn't work with that. It only sometimes gets additional tokens, the 1 in like 10. Dreadhorde Invasion's pretty weak here too. So he's going to be drawing off that, I guess. He's got another giant in play. We're going to have to poison. I guess I can kill the giant with Dreadhorde Invasion 1/1. 3 mana is insanely awkward here, right? Because I can't foretell this, so I just have to play it out like this. Jesus, that's fucking ugly. Really unsure which of those plays are better. It's so mana inefficient to either foretell this and not remove it, take another 4, give him potentially double tokens. Okay, I don't love that coming out because it's going to draw him cards, but probably beats what other options are there. All right, so here we could bag plus Dreadhorde or Doomed. Doomed, we can steal his giant with Valky if we want. Although he's obviously going to cast that this turn. I feel like we need to get this ticking, and a bag activation with that. It's probably okay. So let's open with bag. Okay. I wonder if I should have just taken a turn off and just removed the mentor. Like just on turn 1. Like clearly once we've seen his hand, it would have been better plays for us. Reach. See, this card has so much anti-synergy with God Pharaoh's Tomb, doesn't it? I don't know if we can actually play God Pharaoh's Tomb. All right, so what am I looking to do here? So I always attack here. I can do that first, too. What? Oh, it's summoned this turn. Fuck, I can't attack here. It's a 1-1 this turn. God damn it. So I guess I don't always attack there since I literally can't. But it feels pretty bad. I could play him out as a creature. I hadn't even thought about that. I do have 2 cards right now. So I get him for 1 turn, maybe bring him below his life total. Okay. I guess. I don't think Artifact's there. Egon draws me a card when he dies. I need to get him below max HP so he can stop fucking drawing cards off Elixir. Hold on, what does it say? Whenever you draw a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Okay. They go back to my graveyard when it blows up? No, exile. Okay. Surprised that that's his binding target. I feel like Egon or Dreadhorde Invasion are both better than that. Reach and Death Touch. Okay. Here I trade token to get rid of his draw. Any reason to hold or discard the swamp? Is it a may? It's a no, it's a must. Can I react with Doom Necro on my turn to Egon? Dude's got fucking good answers for us. 2 permanent removal for our value generating things. think he's got a creature card left in his hand. What happens with this in Valky? It just becomes a 0/0? Zero one. Maybe it's better because it's still too fucking bad for this. It's a 3-drop, can't play it. So I guess I just convert it to a 5/5. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm 2 off City Ascension. It's pretty bad. I can do that at instant speed, I suppose. Am I swinging with my 6/6? I doubt it. Sing fly yet? Nope. So looks like we're in pretty bad shape though. So what is it? It's a 4. Yeah, I guess drawing an Elf Lord here is good. Yeah, I know that, Paps. I'm going to be doing that for sure. So I can get the declare blockers. Oh, I can declare blockers before, so at least I get that value. Bonus deck is good. What does it cost? 3. Easy punt from opponent. Feels good. Oh, just gain flying so he doesn't have to interact with my Egon. That sucks. Dead card. What's front side of this? I don't know how that works with Loris. Chat, does Loris interact with Egon or no? Is Egon just gone? Yeah, but I think we're dead to his board right now, so he's the problem. Like I can't block with this card, doesn't do anything, right? So I'm on the like chumping lifelinker plan. Have to kill that now. I think it's a clutch grasp. I think it's too little too late, right? Okay, chat was wrong. Could have played as a 3-drop too. Feels bad. Okay. I mean, that's card advantage then, right? I could have just cast him as the fucking 3-drop. Was I ever not removing that creature? Six, 7, 8, 9. So I needed one more permanent. Am I taking 5 here? I can't not block. Okay. I thought maybe the front side backside was relevant here, that the front side cost might be 3. Like in your hand, like front side backside is relevant, right? So we're 1 mana off kicking this, it's 7. This is CMC 3, so we can just kill it. Can draw first. So many nombos with our fucking Pharaoh's Tomb, huh? Exile a creature to draw for 3. Fuck me, man. All right. 6, 7, 8. I can't get 10 permanents on board for this, so I can never get to attack with this guy, which is brutal. So we would have got blown out with Thoughtseize too. Would have done it in response. Okay.
Go, earn your renown.
Go to 1? No. Oh, never mind. He just pumps it. It's not based on the CMC of the creature. All right. I mean, opponent really clean answers for us. I'm not sure this tells us any information except that I'm really worried about the Pharaohs having any card in our fucking graveyard by the time it comes out. I'm not sure we can actually play that card. There's so many cards that are eating our graveyard that I wasn't thinking about. Or rather, Egon eats our graveyard pretty aggressively. I'm not sure that bag was any good either. We invested mana into it. It got blown up, which is a little bit unfair. It was card selection. We definitely needed card selection there. But we were mana screwed too, surprisingly. We could just drop Gift for Remembrance, or for Arena. And then drop the, we already did drop the Obelisk. Are we going to have any value out of this card? Ever? Like, I just don't know whether we're going to get anything by the time the graveyard gets there. Seems crazy, but I don't know. Double Drain is going to suck. How likely we're to draw them both? That's kind of fair, but Loris wants cards in graveyard. Our Inscription sometimes wants cards in graveyard. That's true, boy. I don't disagree with your assessment. Is this card going to win for us? It's a 7 mana 4/4 the first turn with some ETBs. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I guess I want to see the Pharaoh's Gift actually do something or not do something here. I mean, we're not mostly playing Egon as that 6/6. We just took that line because we had to get him off his fucking draw. That 4 mana draw card, permanent draw, was so bad for us long term. So I don't want to play Egon as a 6/6 for sure. And it's pretty bad. Any land, we're going second. Any land unlocks creature and removal. We have a little bit of card selection. Oh, we have land. Oh, that's not the 1 mana. Okay. All right. So unexcited by this card. We couldn't get, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Last game seemed pretty brutal, but they had really good answers to our stuff. So was that brutal because our deck is terrible? Possibly. Okay. Green, blue, red, white. Cultivate for more. All right, all the colors. We're expecting a Golos. Actually, did not pull black out of that. So maybe it's not all the colors. We'll use bag. I feel kind of bad about this. Are we ditching swamp here? Does a 2/2 do anything? Ditch Necro? You want to ditch our 3-drop and what? Remove the 1/4? A deck not doing anything? I don't want to ditch this because I don't want to reveal it as a reach effect. I think I want to put pressure on the board rather than draw again. 2/2 that gets walled. It gets walled if he... I mean, it stops him hitting me, gives me time to draw out of it, sets up a play that's an instant speed recursion effect from something else from my graveyard. Doesn't make me waste my removal. Yeah, because we're always seeing this card in that deck, right? I think I'm fine. You know, we called the fucking play that's happening here. This is fine. Necro is so much more valuable on the board than it is in my hand. There's his red-black mana. Okay. Problem with Bag is card selection. We do actually need top lands in this deck. Dude, I don't know about this. So up till now, we did get a turn 1 and turn 2 play out of Bag that we wouldn't have had out of Arena. Three open mana, didn't play a card. Is he running counter spells in his Golos deck? Maybe. I want to play land. I want to slam the Lantern. What are our alternate plays here? I could play Turgid as a creature. That seems... I mean, a 4/5 beater on this board, is that actually okay? Do I just 5 mana 4/5 beater? It's certainly less long-term power than the Lantern. It's better short-term. We kind of want creatures in our graveyard to recur with Gift. I think I just do that. Seems crazy. That Lantern is so good, and a 4/5 creature is just a 4/5 creature. It's got text on it, but the text is a troll. If he's got a counter here, it doesn't matter one way or the other, right? Oh, it did matter, because he couldn't have countered the other one. So that particular counter fucks us there. It's in our graveyard now, though, which means we get a God Pharaohs out of it on mana 6. I mean, we might actually consider... Dude, he's playing the super slow Cosmina play instead of beating us down with that. It's great for us. I'm seriously considering fucking popping the Bag of Holding for the mana next turn. Gives me to 6. Could hold up Grasp. I mean, I can just recur it with Necro, too. Too bad I didn't have one more mana this turn, I guess, too. I didn't even think about that. Can we play the people who drafted against these people? Maybe. All of his mana open. What a dream. What a dream. Alright, I'll swing Disfigure, Bag of Holding, pop. That's what I'm doing here. I don't know what the fuck he's holding. Could even leave. I could actually leave this open and end step. The 4/5 might actually be better. I want to play the land this turn, though. So I have to sack Bag like this, which seems pretty expensive. But I need the land, right? 7 gets us somewhere. I don't care about a big dumb flash creature, right? But I do care about well, I care. It depends how big it is. I guess I don't care about a 4/4 big dumb flash creature. I mean, he's got his scry up, right? So now, oh, is it 2 mana bounce to his hand? Discard 2 cards. Do I wish to remove Fae of Wishes right now? I don't think so. For the attack, sure, but if he just blocks with the 1/4, I'm not. The problem with the Necro attack, Victor, is it taps the Necro, and the Necro's effect, which I'm planning on doing on the end step, requires he be untapped. I don't care about the flash creature. I'm probably going to remove it. If he flashes in a creature end step to start beating me, I'll remove it and wait a turn. But I do care about getting my 4/5 in play now, because I'd rather recur the Necro with the God Pharaoh's Gift next turn than I would dig this card out of my graveyard with the God Pharaoh's Gift, right? So this way I'm going to get a 4. I'm going to have a 4/5 menace on the board at the end of his turn, and I'm going to have a 4/4 attacker that's the Necro his turn, as opposed to exiling my 4/5 and having a 2/2 on the board. If I draw land. Did he just bounce it to his hand? Result. I mean, I could just kill that there, I guess, but I'd rather still have my 4/5. I don't want to grasp in response. I'd rather have my 4/5. Oh, that was on my end step. Fuck, I thought that was his turn. Oh, messed that up. Thought he did that on his turn. That's not how I wanted to do that, chat. Okay. Yeah, I understand that he can dig into his sideboard. It's just not strong to do that. Doesn't he have... I mean, he's got exiled Cosmina, and he just threw 2 lands away. Who knows? Yeah, I don't like being in the position where my creature is revealed, and it's not end step. That's certainly annoying. All right, missed the land, which is still okay. We can still protect here. So now I can attack I don't want to, this way I don't have to pre-combat it. So we're going to swing in for 4. Yeah, exactly. The problem with Fae and Limited is that you don't tend to have a bunch of really good cards sitting around your sideboard. This is our first point of damage on his face. It's hilarious. Yep, he's playing Golos. He can have fucking anything. Cube, your sideboard is full of good cards. Yeah, maybe if you're 5 color. I mean, this card, like, think of our deck right now. Is there a good card on our sideboard? Not really. I mean, there's cards we can play. It's not like entirely useless. But is it worth giving up 2 cards on board when he has a Cosmina exiled for 2 lands? I don't think so. Sublime Epiphany is what he's holding up. What a fuck. Okay. I mean, he's certainly playing the most greedy fucking deck we've ever seen in our lives, right? Yeah, and the more duels you pick, the less... I mean, do I remove this for 1 mana now? I actually do, I think. Okay. Well, now with this, I absolutely Lantern them because of Dread Horde. If we'd drawn land... Not sure. What's his mana up? He's got... I mean, I guess I played this... What do I want censored more? The God. So let's play this first. This as the Lantern. Let it be. This is not sorcery, right? Okay. All right. I mean, so far he's just removed 3 damage from my face by bouncing this Fae. So I guess we're gonna see what the value is out of this in a minute. Well, he just recast it as a 1/4. Dude, he's got Cosmina exiled still. This is like 8 damage Cosmina has missed hitting me. Or Cosima, or whatever his fucking name is. I could Lantern in response. Oh, this is the sorcery? Okay. He's got to reveal it. It's a non-creature card, too. It's not even a... Okay. Let's see what the non-creature is. Opponent. Presumably you had a plan when you decided to make this play 4 turns ago of bouncing the Fae to your hand. I'm curious what your plan was. Nah, it's going to be recursion for Golos. That's what I'm thinking. Arch of Orizia. That's actually pretty good. It's 10. Actually pretty good. Unexpectedly good. Why is that not in their main? Because it's colorless mana, so it's not very solid for him. Dude, never land right now. Never fucking land. All right, we have 1, 2... We could get a 4-point drain out of Merchant. Can I bring back colorless? I might be able to bring back bag. I don't remember if that works that way. Yeah. So that's 4 mana spent that way, holding up Grasp. Or it's 5 mana holding up nothing but draining him. I kind of want this as reach. Alright, we'll try Loris. I don't hate putting Loris in graveyard either if there's counter. One day we're going to play our God Pharaoh's Gift, probably. Double Lantern's okay too. The problem is he's got cards to discard now with the Arch out and the draw effect off that, right? Okay. We can filter for land here, end step too. I don't think there's a reason to do it main. I'd rather hold up the Grasp. Okay. What is opponent's deck? It's 5-color Golas. I kind of hate our deck, chat. No blocks. Is this sweeper? I'm at enough health, I don't care. Doesn't like give him cards, right? No, it's just this dumb effect. It's a little unlucky. Okay. No, I could block with Grasp. I explained all the thought process and why I didn't, though. Okay. That would have been nice a turn before, huh? Doesn't go to our fucking graveyard, which is annoying as fuck right now. Dude, missing the land drop 3 turns in a row on God Pharaohs is pretty brutal. I don't know if we can get through this now. The 6/6 and 4/5 is a lot of face damage next turn, and he's not done casting things. I don't even have mana to Icy plus... Dude, so... Wow, okay. So what's the reach? 4? Double blocks is pretty rough. I was kind of hoping some of that would go through. I guess I need the 6 off the board, but Loris being alive is pretty valuable. Okay. Would have been really nice to have drawn a land here. All right. Opponent untaps with this board. Okay. And 8 cards in hand. Nasty. I could have just attacked with Loris, I guess, but the dual block. I was hoping he wouldn't block one. I thought maybe he would block Loris, let the other one through. I could sneak some damage in, gain some life, and set up for that. think God's Pharaoh's Gift now is too slow. It's just a 4/4 haster this turn, right? Do we see? We know he's got that. It doesn't make any difference. He's never going to take damage here. He's just always going to discard something stupid. Okay. You think the Lantern's been doing work here? The Lantern has done nothing. It was a 4-mana spell that has done nothing for 3 turns. It's not doing something. It's doing nothing. It's the opposite of doing something. It certainly hasn't been doing work versus this. All right, we might not bait the win from here. He's protecting his life total, which is super smart. This deck isn't constructed, chat. Like, it's not like this is just 5-color good stuff, right? Okay, we drawn our land 4 turns too late. God Pharaoh's Gift is just a 4/4 here. I don't think we have any ETB effects that matter here. If our drain is for 4, maybe we can sneak it. Do we live next turn with the icy? Maybe. Well, I can put Grey Merchant in the graveyard by blocking with it next turn and possibly Pharaoh it out with the Haster and the Drain again if we're lucky. Although I think Grey Merchant recurring from Lantern loses... I think it loses black, right? So it's just a 2-point drain. Oh. I think this card might have to come out of our deck. I mean, it would have been good this game if we could have resolved it 2 turns earlier. Or 3 turns earlier. Missing that swamp was super painful. They're real copies and they keep the mana cost? Interesting. Did he just... Oh, this is my end step. Okay, I keep expecting him to be having turns. Okay. I guess we could try to read the card and figure it out. What does it say? Token that's a copy of the card except it's a black zombie. I don't know. What is it? How do we tell normally? I guess we can try to find out. Maybe he'll mill himself to death. He's at 1 card in his library, chat. I mean, it's definitely a 5-color good stuff deck. Really light on interaction too. Honestly, I think 1 turn earlier with that. So I can pull back a 4/5 menace. It becomes a 4/4 menace with haste, which is worth 4. Or I can play the Grey Merchant, which is worth 4 as well, but doesn't. Can I survive another round with the token as a chump blocker and... Obviously can't play that. I mean, now we're just on survival. So I can chump. This thing doesn't have trample, right? We don't know if he's got removal or not. Probably not, honestly. So I can chump, remove that. Tap that, take 5 or dead. Is there any way... If I play the God Pharaohs, it's 2 blockers, but I can't... I don't have a land. If this was a land, I could maybe God Pharaohs, leave up Icy for that, get another chump blocker, drain him to get life back. Gary pings 7. Gary pings 1, 2, 4, right? Try looting. Looting makes me my plays less likely to occur right now, right? He only has the 1 blocker. Again, if this had been a mana, we could have Gary'd, killed him, right? Because we could have tapped this card with Icy and then Pharaoh'd and kill him. It might just be better to pop Bag of Holding than because then it's chump chump kill. It's chump chump tap. We're still dead though. It's 5. There's no way. There's no way that a single card gets us anywhere from Bag of Holding right now. It sucks that we're so close, but there's no way this helps. I mean, great. Okay. So we're 1 turn away from winning in 2 different ways. We almost survived this turn, but not quite. Okay. So it just, dare I say it? 4-turn delay on the land for our God Pharaoh, followed by missing the land drop on the turn. We could have won there. We could have won still on that turn, chat. He's tapped out. We can see his whole fucking deck. He's got 1 creature. We can tap it with the Icy. We have 4 power that's hasted coming out of the graveyard that also drains for 4. That's 8 damage to his face. So if we draw land there, we win. Feels a little bad. Okay. 0 and 2. Killed Golos on the turn it came into play, and it still wasn't enough. The guy missed killing us for like 8 hours with exiling his own Cosmina for 3 turns, then bouncing his Fae back. I mean, I don't know how much damage that was. It was probably in the vicinity of 3 attacks with the 2/4. That might have been a 3/5, and 2 attacks or 3 attacks with the Fae. I mean, we're talking like 8 damage minimum out of what he missed there for damage. Most janky opponent deck. You see Golos decks all the time in this format. I think a lot of the time we win there. I mean, what's the land draw? 40% to draw land? Probably a little bit higher because we were missing land drops. I don't know, chat. God Pharaoh's Tomb would have won us that game if we had it. But at the same time, if that had just been the arena, we probably would have been in better shape to get there. It's a good opening hand. I wish we'd gone first with this hand. Lantern was an absolute scam that game. Did nothing for us. I think he bounced the Fae Victor because he thought he was taking advantage of discarding 2 lands that he didn't want. Doom Necro into the graveyard. This is here for Vraska, right? I don't hate the acquisitions expert here. It's not exciting, but it's not really anything. It's just a discard 1. It's fine. He already searched up his land, so he may not want to. He may not want to get rid of another land here. We might get a card. Gotta commit to memory. Okay. Got half a card then. So we know he's playing blue at least. There's at least a 3-color deck here. To a spring. So this is the same deck we just played against. Acceleration, tutoring, all the colors kind of shit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just 3-color. Maybe just Sultai. We just milled God Pharaoh's Tomb, chat. I can't make this shit up. Okay. I kind of agree. Good game. I don't know where the rest of our stuff comes from. Well. Feels so bad. First mill, the tomb. First fucking mill. All right. Minus affects kill indestructible, right? Okay. Arena does some weird shit though with Olamog discarded. Arena does some weird shit with the way it does indestructible though. Like it shows the creature's health decreasing kind of deal. I thought. So I'm never quite sure what that interaction is supposed to be. Anyways. Didn't sack binding. Is it a permanent? I think it's a creature. Sacrifices a non-token permanent. Oh, yeah, definitely could have. Good call. So I should have waited for that to go off then. I was thinking there was no downside to doing it earlier. My thought was force him to choose when he doesn't have as many cards in his hand to choose from. What do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm 1 away from doubling. So this turn I actually would like to just do it once, right? I have enough to play both of them. Is there a reason to wait? I want him to discard his fucking cards when he doesn't get to choose from what he's discarding. So he's just top decking. Oops. Okay. Can't attack or block unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater and he can't pump it. So this is a 2/2 and 4 1/1s, which is a lot. He can pump those later. He's at 11. He can sack the... It's non-token permanent, right? Non-land permanent. No, it's, yeah, non-token permanent. So I think we're just going to disfigure the 2/2. Okay. That's reach. He's at 11. We have 8 mana this turn. We can triple activate the lantern. What does this card do? Draw 7 cards for 6 mana. I really wish I could graveyard hate that thing right now. Alright. Tokens are permanents, but it is non-token permanent. You can't sack Wasp to the Lantern. It's non... Oh, it's... I'm wrong. I'm reading the Turgid part. It's my bad. He just put God Pharaoh's his graveyard. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad then for us, huh? Okay. So we're gonna eat the God here. Can't eat God? Wait, I thought we could. I thought we just had this conversation. I thought if I made this a 5/5, it takes damage, then I kill it with Grasp. It doesn't work that way? Oh, it has to be a full minus. So the damage that it shows in Arena Client doesn't actually count? Comes a 1/1 indestructible. It's funny. Arena marks damage on that, so I guess I'm just taking it then. Okay. That's what I thought. That's the question I thought I was asking you guys earlier, chat. I should have just removed this on cast then, so we didn't have a fucking creature to attack with. But I guess I set up for quadruple or triple drain here, so here we go. Hold on. What phase are we in? We're in step. It's fine. Guess I should have done this to save damage. A lot of things I could have done differently had I realized that. I thought I could block, do damage to it, and it would be then like a 5/2, even though it's still indestructible, and I could kill it. That's what I was expecting to have happen. I was at one point considering double removing the Ronus, but then I'm like, oh, if I can just block it and grasp it, then I'm fine. So I just took 2 extra damage here for no reason. 4 if it counts the other one. The Hornet Queen was very good versus the Lantern, huh? Another card that has double value. Sucks. All right. What is this? CMC 3, destroy. I can remove tokens with this. I can remove his 4/4. These are 1/1 death touch creatures. Are we on triple Lantern again this turn? Maybe we enter his combat step and I grasp the 4/4. This gives +X/+X when it comes back in for 6. It's a fucking lot. It doesn't give it trample though. Although this thing already has trample. We get good Gary value right now. Kinda. Can always chump with it, I guess, but not the Ronos. 7. Kind of need the body on the board. Do I? Either like Gary use Lantern first. No, I need to save up. I mean, I guess I could Lantern here. That's fine. But I need to save up mana for Grasp. I think he trades the atmospheric for this. I could eliminate it and just take the damage. Does it end my turn or choose goes attacking, right? So if I get in for 3 here, that's pretty valuable. Why can't I attack right now? Or do this? Game? No. Oh, come on. I can't crew here when it forces me into turn transition? Fuck off. I know my timer ran out, so it forced me into the attack phase, but it's not a real attack phase. I don't have options to do things like crew, which I can do during that phase. It brought me straight to declare attackers instead of the attack phase. Isn't that wrong? What instant or sorcery does it have in here? There's a bunch. I guess I can still remove shit here, so. We can put it into... Oh, he can cast Pharaoh's Oh my god, it's so bad. Okay. So we have to surprise kill him here. Dude, we could have got 3 more damage there. It's super relevant. We could have fucking removed the creature, crewed the atmospheric harvester, slapped him for 3 in the face, and lifesteal out of that. That's so bad. Took Olamog because he doesn't know that it doesn't have an ETB. I've done this already. So he should have taken Hornet's Queen. We might still have to beat him from this. 22 cards, doesn't matter. Could have looked there. Alright, so what's our crackback look like? We removed the Hornet. We've got a flyer, but he's got a blocker. This is 5-9 damage. I don't care about 9 damage. Do I care about 4 damage? I really doubt it. Guy's at 11. Where's the lifelink coming from? Oh, this has lifelink. I'm an idiot. I'm fucking an idiot. I didn't know this card had lifelink. I just assumed it was a fucking 4/4. Could we have got there without it? Let's see if we could have got there if I hadn't missed the fact this card has lifelink. So we would end step remove this guy, probably with Eliminate. It's the least flexible of these removal spells. We do that. That always happens. We still got a fucking 5/5 blocker up, which is no good for us. So would we have been able to do anything here? There's nothing in our graveyard that matters. No. The answer is a hard no here, right? He can sack creatures all day. He's got cards in hand. So this is never doing anything. We've got 8 mana, which isn't particularly exciting. He's got a flying blocker. We can force lifelink through. If I'd remove that 4, we'd be at 11. He'd be at 7 here. We'd be attacking with this. He'd always block. We get another attacking with that. 2 more brings him to 5. He blocks. Maybe we remove it, so it's gone. We're now dying to the crackback from Ulamog with milling our deck. Can I make him sack enough of these to matter with no mana here? Well, we'd have 3 activations of Lantern. 1, sack. He's already lost that. Sack that, sack that. He still has Ulamog to attack me. We're still dead. Okay. So I don't think there's any... I don't think I win from there. But I did miss the lifelink. We're certainly in a better position if I had known that card had lifelink and I removed it. But we might also have been in... And we actually could only activate the Lantern twice because we would have end step removed the 4/4, not enough mana to kill the 1/1. And honestly, I just think he should have fucking horneted anyways. All right. Turns out, opponent having God Pharaoh's Gift, us having God Pharaoh's Gift, us milling it on turn 1, and then misplaying doesn't get us there. So, all right. That deck was atrocious. We had a free block on the Lamia with the Harvester. It's not a matter of that, right? I'm gonna lose if he gets another turn, and my life total is not relevant there. The only reason why we should have blocked Lamia, and we shouldn't have, we should have just removed it, is because it had lifelink, which I didn't remember at all. Which means that him having more life total is relevant. We're never gonna beat that, right? His cards are more powerful. He's got more of them on the board. He's got the God Pharaoh's Tome in play, right? It's just gonna beat us the fuck up. So. That deck was trash. This deck was awful, awful. So was Bag okay? I don't know. The game where we had God Pharaoh's Gift in our hand and couldn't play it for 4 turns was really, really frustrating. Both of these cards seemed like not Grey Merchant did exactly what it always does for me. It drains for 4. And is that good? I don't think so. Turgid was awful. He was awful as a 4/5 and he was awful as the Lantern. The Lantern is a bunch of fucking invest mana to do nothing. And I have gotten drained out by black decks that do it, but our deck, I guess, isn't aggressive enough to really capitalize on that card. So we just didn't have... It just never was impactful. Our opponent just discards cards and sacks shit he doesn't give a fuck about. How about the rest of these cards that were first time playing? We drew Thoughtseize once when our opponent was down to 0 cards. That was irrelevant the entire rest of the time. Let's see. These cards are all about what they normally do. Doom Necro was fine, but not great. Egon was pretty bad too. We played it as a 6/6 when we were forced to once, and then we played Throne of Death on 1, and it milled the only card in our deck we cared about not milling on turn 1 as well. That was pretty fucking terrible. We played Inscription once and didn't have enough mana. We were 1 short of kicking it. Mythos was just removal. We saw Veto once. We never got to activate his ability. I think he got countered if I recall correctly. We never saw Woe Strider at all. Probably the strongest. Never saw Woe Strider at all. It was pretty telling. Loris hit no creature. We got 1 recursion effect out of Loris once. We never played Vraska. Icy was okay. Deck was trash, man. That was so bad. Thanks for the sub, Mortifier. All right, chat. I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna try to shake off the salt. I'm gonna walk downstairs, get some food. I'll let you look at this glorious atrocity, and we're gonna draft again because this was really, really miserable. All right, back in a few. All right, I'm back. I think there were a couple games there that were pretty close, right? The game versus the Golos deck. If we'd ever drawn that land, we would have won. And that last game, there was a lot of mistakes, right? It was a really complicated board state a number of times, like particularly on Lantern activations. Like when he attacked that turn with the Hornet Queen summons, we took extra damage there. I think there was a turn where I could have killed the 4/4 to prevent the 5/5 from activating. That would have been pretty good. And the client fucked us so hard when it forced us into combat phase, but it actually wasn't combat phase. Because in combat phase, I can still crew my creature. I can still crew my fucking, my ship, right? I think. So that was kind of painful. Not being able to crew the Harvester on the declaring attackers there. Because what we should have been able to do is make the Harvester into a creature, and then as we declare attackers, play an instant spell to remove the blocker. And we weren't able to do that. So, per the rules of Magic, you can't crew during combat phase. I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure you can. It's just an instant effect to crew. It's not a sorcery speed thing. So now you can crew whenever the fuck you want. Tap any number of creatures you control with power. Total power 1 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. I don't think there's anything about that. I've crewed in the combat phase in this client yesterday. Exactly. Once you're at the declare attacks, it's too late. That's what I'm saying. The client, when we ran out of time, changed us from first main phase to a combat phase, but it wasn't combat phase. It actually just moved us directly to the declare attackers step.
A renewal. Welcome back.
So I don't know why the client does that. That's the first time we've run out of time and had that interaction be relevant to see it. I mean, if it just transitioned us to combat step, we still could have declared, we still could have made this a creature. So pretty fucking irritating. Anyways, shitty run for that deck. I don't think that deck was good, but I think it's better than 0 and 3. Anyway, let's go again. Thanks, Aegis, for the 7 months. Welcome back. I think we overdrafted removal that set, or that draft, and didn't get a deck with enough playables in the end. Right, TwitchCat, though, wouldn't it make sense that if it's going to advance me to the next phase anyways, why doesn't it advance me to the next phase? Why does it advance me to some horrendous, like, sub-state of a phase? Alright, pack 1, pick 1. Pack's pretty weak. There's a Traxos, which is fairly nice. There's Rampaging Ferocidon, which is excellent. The thing about Traxos is any color, and pretty much any archetype, which is really nice. And there's a Patient Rebuilding. I think this is the only 3 cards strong enough to talk about. You think Sphinx's Revelation is a card? I don't think Sphinx's Revelation is a card compared to these other ones. Phoenix of Ash is nice too. So we could, for example, and this, no, that's not the card I thought it was. So we could take Ferocidon and hope to wheel Ash, but Heroic Reinforcements is in here. And people really like their weenie decks in this format for some reason. I'm pretty close to just taking... The problem with this is I don't cut red, right? At all. I pass 2 reasonable red cards. One of which people are going to be first picking pretty regularly. I think I might actually just take Traxos here, honestly. I like this card a lot if I'm red aggro. Otherwise, I don't. Yeah, the thing about Traxos is it's colorless too, right? So we know there's a shit ton of activators for Traxos in this format, like a ton. This card seems like it goes with Traxos. It's the only black card in here. We didn't pass a good black card last pack. I like Sarkon. Triggers Traxos. So, I mean, whatever. There's also an Embercleave. But remember, we just passed red, and we're going to pass either Sarkon or Embercleave to the next guy. So we're like signaling the fuck out of red being open. There's also a white-red duel here, or dual creature that goes really well with Heroic Reinforcements. So I think I'm on Black Sweeper here. We haven't played Sweepers much in this format yet. Alright. Idle and Survey are both excellent. I don't have a reason to think I need fixing yet, but it's nice. I really like 2-mana Accelerants that are also historic triggers for my Traxos. There's a Woe Rider, which is fine. We didn't draw it last playthrough. It's okay. It's a strong card, but it's not like the most powerful card ever. Hornet Queen was pretty good for them, but I don't know. I think I just take the Accelerant. There's a Grasp in black, a Bedevil and Mayhem Devil in black red. There's a Chromatic Queer Ori in 5-color good stuff. Champion of Wits is pretty solid. There's 2 Planeswalkers. This one's been pretty good for our opponents. I don't really like it. It's just card selection, really. And a blue-white duel. How greedy are we? The Dirtle, the super Dirtle control decks have been my favorite in this draft, followed by the kind of tight red-white attacking decks. I'd love to get a life drain deck going. I don't mind cutting black entirely though. Like we picked the only 2 black cards here. There's gonna be a shit ton of good black stuff coming back around, maybe. Although I don't know that black has all these synergies I want with Traxos. Like dual land to stay open. This card stays open. Mangara has been excellent for us. There's this Phyrexian Arena here, and there's a Visionary in green. Past some green cards, this card is really good. That card has been really good too, although it's quite slow. It's really good as an anti-aggro card, which we might be where we're going. We're kind of looking to go 2-drop into 4-drop too. Chromatic is the opposite of staying open. No. Taking an artifact, pick 4, is pretty heavy about staying open. We don't have to play this card. You're not forced to play a color just because you picked that card. And if we do, this lets us stay max open, right? We can play any color combination with this card, including 5-color good stuff. So no, it definitely kept us open. I'm going to take Mangara here. Bone Crusher is the best card in the pack. Demon Bolt's pretty good too. Red is really, really open. But we've been passing all the red, so it's probably unlikely that it's still open for us. There's a Scry land and a Draw land in black, a Sprite and a Valorous Stance. I don't know what the fuck I want to play out of these. I don't really want these cards. Let's see. But open doesn't mean that you're playing all the things. Open means that you're open to those archetypes coming to you, right? Taking Chromatic Ori, just because it's not gonna, hold on a minute, I gotta explain this in a minute, maybe after. So I'm gonna fucking time out here. Huh. Icy, Priest, Ayara, and Crypt Breaker. Negate in here as well. I like Priest and I like Icy. This card's really good in mono black. It's also a legendary. Could be mono black with Artifacts Matter again. Although we could be playing white too. Do we have anything to think that we're in sack right now? Like, no, not really. Icy's just good too. Super slow though. I'm going to explain it in a minute, but I can't respond to you because I don't have time to respond to you and pick my cards. So if you want to hold the conversation until after, I'm happy to have it. We're not necessarily playing black either. I don't know, that card is really good. I've got a black-red duel, more super open red cards. Someone's going to walk out with a nut red deck. Blood for Bones. Don't have any reason to believe that we have cards that can take advantage of this right now. Yeah. I don't want to play that card particularly. I don't think we're very blue at the moment. I think we're black and artifact looking for something else. Let's take Blood for Bones and see if we can get it to play. If we get some tokens, we get Priest and Blood for Bone payoff. There's an Eliminate, Sheep Black removal. Ferocidon Wield. And Phoenix of Ash Wield. Is it possible that despite red being wide open, no one has taken a fucking red card here? I don't like this card. It doesn't hit quite as much as I would like it to hit. Ferocidon is like absolute best red card out there. Sarkhan is still here. Tibolt's here. Honored Crop Captain is still here despite the fact Heroic Reinforcements is gone. I hate the people I draft with. I hate them. Like, Surveyor's still here. Like, what do they do? When they pick their cards, what do they do? Do they just, all the red-black cards are here? Chad, I hate them. But who, after taking Heroic Reinforcements, looks at the 3/2 who pumps your whole team every time he attacks for 2 mana and goes, nah, I'll take a different card. Like, who does that? We just took... Jesus Christ, man. Okay. All right, Magda is. I mean, if we're red, Magda is fucking great. A braid is really solid in this format too, but I'm never passing this if we're playing red. And we just picked up some really, really solid red cards at the end of that pack. No one plays red in this format. I feel like red is fine in this format. Like, I don't know what the weakest color is, but it feels like black to me in this format. Everyone just jamming 5-color good stuff, not wanting to play red maybe. A braid is nuts, but I think Magda is better than a braid. I think Magda is game winning by itself, right? If you go first with this card, or even just play some Dirtle guy, it ramps you, it accelerates you, it fixes all your color issues, it draws, it's just such a good card. I told you, Mango, I'll respond to that. You keep getting extra little jabs in about that, and I keep not getting a chance to respond because I don't have any fucking time to respond. What you're missing is that although this card is not playable in all decks, by taking it, we don't limit the decks we can play. We just limit adding this to the deck. If we take a green card and we play red-white, it's just as limiting as the Ori, except this card leaves us open to full color spectrum stuff, right? Anyway, got a red-black duel here, 2 red-greens, some solid white cards, a Village Rites in black, an Octopus and a Finale of Devastation. I like Finale now that I understand how it works. I thought this was top of your deck for X cards. I mean, we've kind of been suckered into red now. And I think it's red-black. We have red-black dual cards. I think this is just the Blood Crypt, sadly. So command the Dreadhorde, a Veto, and a Bastion. I mean, Rampaging Ferocidon, not great with this this set here. So sort of red-white duel. Nothing